this is your Moodle site. It's brand new. You've just installed it. Someone's installed it for you. This is how it comes pretty much out of the box. There's just one plugin I've added, which observant users and experienced users might note. I'll see if anyone comes back and tells me what it is. And what we need to do now is create a course. We need to start populating this Moodle site. I'm not going to do anything fancy with the administration yet. I'm just going to focus on the course, and that's because the course is the unit of currency inside Moodle. It's the thing that everything is based on. So you put people into courses, you put materials into courses, you put activities into courses, you run reports against courses. Everything is inside or part of or related to a course. So we're going to create a brand new course. Now, it's not obvious from this dashboard page, which is the first page you see, where to go to create a course. What you have to do as an administrator is go to Site Administration. So here's the Site Administration panel. It looks complicated. It is, but let's focus on the key parts at the moment. We're not going to worry about anything except courses. So we go to the Courses tab. And I'm using, as I said, the vanilla Moodle. It's with the theme that comes out of the box, nothing special. And I'm going to add a new course, this fourth option down. We're not going to add any categories, custom fields, nothing complicated, just going to add a new course. So that brings us to the course settings page. Now you can always come back to this page and make changes to it. I'll show you how to do that later, but let's start filling this in. I'm going to give the course a long title, My New Course. That gets displayed at the top of the screen and when you see the full course catalogue. I'm also going to give it a short name, which is the name that gets displayed in the breadcrumb trail at the top of the screen. You can see the breadcrumb trail here, and that will change as you move around the system. Regarding the course category, we only have a miscellaneous category, which is what comes with Moodle out of the box. I haven't got any other categories set up, so we're just going to leave it there. We'll do another video on categories later. The visibility is important because that dictates whether the students can see that this course even exists. If not, if we hide it, then they won't even know it exists at all. So you can be working on it behind the scenes, and it's not until you show the course that they then become aware of it. You might want to have a start date and an end date if you're doing courses that have beginnings and ends. Or if you, like many people, you have self-study courses with no end, you just disable the end date. The ID number is useful for if you're interfacing with other systems. Let's say you want to enroll someone automatically based on a student record system or a CRM, something like that. Don't worry about it for now. All we're doing is creating a blank course. I'm going to give this course a short summary. Here we go. And that will get displayed again in the course catalogue depending on your theme, and also in a block on the right hand side if you want it to. The course image is available there. You can add one file to this. Again, if you want to, it's optional, and it also depends on your theme how that image gets displayed. So I'm going to leave that blank for the moment. The course format is important because that dictates how the course is going to work for your students. Now the default is the topics format, where you have one section with a topic heading and then some activities, resources, and then another section with a topic heading and the activities and resources and so on. You can also have a weekly format if you're using a time-driven course, and that will have a section per week. Social format is just it's a simple forum that is just available for students to use. And then the single activity format means you could have a course that just contains one thing, like a SCORM package or a questionnaire, and as soon as they click on the course, they're straight into that thing. If you want to, it allows you to avoid people having to dig into a whole set of hierarchies just to get to one thing. We're going to leave this topics format. There are many other formats available in the Moodle plugins. We'll look at some of those in other videos. We're going to set this topics format to have 4 sections. We can add to that or change that later. And we're going to leave these things as defaults for the moment. If you're not sure how things are going to work, just try changing them, see what happens. Or click on the help button and that will tell you a bit more about what this thing actually does. So I'll leave that as the default. Same again here. If you want to explore what these do, then you can try making changes, see what happens. I'm going to leave these as default. Although quite often I would hide the gradebook. If you're not working with a graded course, they don't need the gradebook. So it's quite actually let's turn that off, because what I try to do is show the minimum to people, the absolute minimum for what they really need, because the more links they have to click on, the more confused they'll get. So if we can start with something really simple, and then we can always add to it later. Files and uploads is all about what's the size of the files that people can upload. Now my site limit is very low. I'll set it to 8 megabytes. Sometimes you'll have 32, 64, whatever. But this lets you choose a different limit for this particular course. And even some activities allow you to have a limit per activity as well. Completion tracking is what it says. It dictates whether you're tracking whether someone has completed an activity. And this will then add another option into the activity themselves as to how that activity gets tracked. We'll talk about that in a bit more detail later. You can switch this on because we switched on completion tracking by default in Moodle. It's switched on for the whole site, and which means we can turn it off for individual courses. You might decide that actually we don't want completion tracking on any of our courses, and you can switch that off on a global setting in the admin section. Groups is a way of grouping people together. So you can run reports against different groups of people. You can run activities for different groups of people. For now, we're going to keep it simple. We'll just have no groups. And we can rename our roles. So that instead of the word student, we might use the word participant instead. Most people don't do anything with that, but I'll just show you how that works. And tags is just a way of adding categories to things, but not putting the course into a category. It means that you can search for stuff. So I'm going to use the word new. So I'm going to have a tag called new. So it means that anytime we search for something that's new, it will bring back this course. So then we go to save and display. So we're in the participants page, which is we've been dropped here straight after saving the settings. And I'm just going to enroll myself as a teacher, because then it means it comes up on my list of courses. So I'm going to say, look for admin, because that's who I am. And I'm going to give myself the role of teacher. Don't worry about any of the other options for now. And there we see it. And then click proceed to course content to actually get into the course. And here we are. Here's our new course. It's got an announcement section. It's got the 4 topics that we asked for and nothing else. It's a completely empty course. We can, at this point, we can make changes to it. We can add materials. We can add users. That'll be the subject of another video. Just to finish off with, if you want to go back and change those settings, this cog icon is your friend. You need to know where that is, and then you can go to edit settings, and that takes us back to the page where we were previously, where you can make changes to the title and the format and things like that. And there we are. There are our settings. So just to finish off with, let's go back to the home page, or back to the dashboard, which is where we were dropped right at the beginning, and we should see our course sitting there. It's showing your new course, showing that it's hidden from students, and showing a default image, which if you'd put in an image into the course settings, that would show here in this standard view. We'll leave it there. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you next time.